Hey, we are Elaya
and Laia, and we went from Amsterdam asking some questions.
Why they will answer?
Do you think there are many differences between men and women in your studies?
I don't think so because it's more thinking with your brain. You need to plan a lot. I think men can do this as great as women can do that. So I don't think there's a difference.
And you see difference between women and men in your studies?
I have a difference because I'm the only girl, but I think it's not harder for me, but I don't have the opportunity before to learn about the machines or something like that. And this is the difference. We don't start in the same step. The others is there and I am there and I have to learn more and I read more. This is the hard for me.
Okay. And you think that there are works for women and works for men? Right?
Now we are different parts, but I hope for the few years later, if not, I hope.
And the last question, did you have any sexist aggression in your studies?
Now no, but I'm sure if I go for a job, I will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sure.
Thank you.
And I'm ready for this.
Do you think that there are differences between men and women in your job?
Not really. Like mostly where I work for, this is a Ukrainian company, so there's a lot more women than men due to the war conditions and all that. And I don't know. I don't think there's a difference. No, I mean you know working on IT, you're very used to working with men, so this was a new experience for me. This is definitely an industry where you don't see a lot of women, but this one has been a completely different way of, different group, but the experience has been the same. Like nothing changed. When you can't talk about deliverables or objectives, same thing.
Okay. And do you think that are jobs of women and jobs of men?
No, not at all. No, but I have seen that typically. I've seen that women are more detail-oriented than us, for sure. For some reason, I will never understand. Of course, there are exceptions. I've seen men very detail-oriented. Not my case, but that would be the only thing I would have noticed.
Sorry.
And
I gotta say it.
the last question, have you experienced any sexist aggression in your job?
No, not that I remember. There's a lot of respect, and I think the world changed drastically over the past few years.
Do you think that there are difference between men and women in your work?
Difference, yes, probably in payment mostly, because it's some stereotypes that women it's not for IT, but nowadays there are a lot of women in our company, but still they prefer men than women.
Have you experienced any sexist aggression in your job? Or
No.
And the last question, do you think that are jobs of women and jobs of men?
Mostly no, but maybe some jobs like mining or something like that, but women can do this job, but it's really physically problematic. But in other jobs, it's when you need only your mind, it's all for everybody.
Okay. Do you see a difference between women and men in your job?
No, in our team there is no difference. I do see sometimes differences in the way that women and men promote themselves. So men are more courageous to ask for more chances, for more opportunities, while women are maybe hoping for this just to happen. But generally speaking, in terms of performance, I don't see any differences.
Okay. And do you think that are in general jobs that are for women and jobs that are for men?
No, exactly, I don't think. about this. No, I do believe that everything, all the opportunities are open, everything is possible, and especially with the technologies today, I don't see whatsoever any differences. Any kind of boundaries that we create is only boundaries that we create for ourselves. So I don't see any differences in this level. This is also a discussion that we have in the entrepreneurship world, where in the entrepreneurship world, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, and it's your fate in your own hands.
And the last question, have you experienced any sexist aggression in your job?
First of all, I'm the manager of the company, so it's not possible. But I can tell you that in my career, I never had that. I know about other women that it happened to them, but to me, it never happened. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I hear about this a lot, and sometimes I wonder how come it never happened to me. And that's a question. That's a discussion I have with my daughter actually. How come it never happened to me? Am I responsible somehow for not experiencing this? Are we responsible in any way to create a situation that something like this will not happen to us? I don't think so, but to me it didn't happen. However, to most of the women that I know, it happened. And so I'm honestly thinking that that's a huge problem that exists, but I didn't experience this.
Okay.
You see difference between women and men in your studies?
Not so much, but when a woman gets pregnant, she is the different, but it's okay.
Okay. And do you think that there are jobs for women and jobs for men?
I think yes, it is for both.
And can you put any example of work for woman and one work?
Not yet, but if it happens, I manage it.
Okay.
Okay.
And the last question, you have did you have any sexist aggression in your studies or in your job?
No yet. No yet. It's okay all. And I'm so... Πώς είναι το ψύχρεμο, Ρία? Sorry. Cool, I'm so cool if it happened.
Okay, perfect.
Do you think that there are differences between women and men in your case, in your studies or in your studies and jobs?
Maybe there are stereotypes with women more oriented in marketing in a business school and men in finance, for example. But there are the same number between men and women in my business school, and I think it's well balanced. Yeah.
And to me, it's actually a bit special because we are like a girl team, like we are 4 women. But so my director is actually a woman, and also in other organization as me, it's most of the time women who are in the director position. But actually, we are working for men most of the time. Like big boss of enterprise are most of the time men. So it's actually a bit tricky, but yeah.
And do you think that are jobs that are for women and for men?
I would say finance, yes. I mean, today
Yeah.
people are like, it's more men-oriented because, but I also it's a bit of a stereotype and it's actually how we feel it. But maybe we can say that men are more into are more able to take the pressure and stuff like that, but we all know that's actually not the case. But
I agree with you.
And the last question, have you experienced any sexist aggression in your studies or in your job? Only yes or no?
In my study, yes. So I studied agronomics, so I did lots of internship in farms. So I remember one thing, the first year I went for an internship, so it was 3 months in a farm. And so I wanted to conduct the tractor, and my boss, who was a farmer, said, no, it's actually just for boys. And so I was like, but what the hell, I can drive, I can drive the car, so I can drive the tractor, and in the end he let me to drive in the car, but yeah, it was a good story.
What qualities do you think are necessary to study what you are studying?
Yeah, you have to be, of course, healthy. This work also requires a lot of stress. You can experience a lot of stress, so you have to be, you don't have to stress a lot. So that.
Yes, you have to be stress resistant, and I think you have to be motivated for every study you do. So
you need to be a team player.
Also important.
Because you have a lot of work pressure, time pressure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to work together.
Yeah, dankjewel.
If we change, worlds change.